Alright, we are back with Dry Drowning. I don't remember anything about this game. I don't remember where we left off. We'll have to read a little bit here.
I kind of forget what we have going into this part.
I don't know.
Remember it ending on the girl being an android or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, there you are, right on time as always. The city is collapsing and you keep smiling like nothing's happened. I'm starting to believe that you're the real monster here, David. What can I say? I'm a simple man who likes to stay positive. I wasn't expecting to see you so soon, at least not after what happened at Hephaestus. Actually, I believe that all worked out to our advantage. Now the important thing is to keep the public opinion away from the real danger. For once, I completely agree with you. Anyway, the plan seems to be working as expected. And I highly doubt that anyone would suspect you. Especially now that the Black Bands are exploiting Baker's death. Oh yeah, that happened. I forgot about that. To strengthen their power and avoid a civil war. I believe it's only a matter of time before someone gets killed. That's when things will get interesting. I wouldn't expect anything less from them. Although it's unfortunate that our friend left us so soon, isn't it? He paid me in advance, so it doesn't bother me. Tell me, does the girl know anything about this? Of course not, but I'm sure she will be on our side. She wants revenge more than anyone, after all. Excellent, but I want to know the most important thing right now. Did you manage to convince those two to trust us? Oh, great. This is right after I think we made a deal with him.
Yeah, I just completely forget what happened.
We're gonna have to read our little notebook after this. Of course, it wasn't hard given the current circumstances. Brilliant, so now we can move on to the next step. There's no going back, David. I hope you realize that. Why would I back out now that the fun is about to start? I'm not even thinking about that. Alright then, let's get this revolution started. Oh god, they're commies.
Viva la revolution.
Foley investigation 6 years before... Oh, flashback time. Oh my god. Do we really have to do this? I hate this kind of things. We just caught the most dangerous killers in the city. You can't expect the press to leave you alone. Am I wrong, or were you the one to torment me with the stuff like, I'll show them who the loser is. When I catch him, they will come crawling back. You'll see. Maybe. Come on, Mordred. Just try and relax for a moment. Easy to say, but I can't since you forced me to quit smoking. So ungrateful. I'm worrying about your health and you talk like that. Now stop mumbling and give me a smile for once. Damn. Come on, things are gonna be great, right? Take a deep breath and smile. Is that your definition of true happiness? It's like asking an old wolf to go vegetarian. Huh? Who the fuck is this guy? You know I'm a big fan of dramatic entrances. Well, the gang's all here. Welcome back, Leon. I don't remember a Leon. Can I... Oh, thank God.
No, that dude's completely new.
Reoccurring nightmares. The situation and events related to Pandora are getting more and more complicated, while Mordred's and Hera's fate is uncertain, more uncertain than ever. The phone call of an old friend will shake their souls and lead them back to where they wish they never came. Oh, that's the current chapter. Okay, well. That's all we get. Leon Bassett. Len Biss 323, Leon Bassett, June 19th, 42. No man can call himself without a purpose. Leon is an honest, trustworthy man with a calm and composed nature. Due to his radical ideas about honor and patriotism, he can be easily influenced, and this is why he never got on higher rank. Bassett was born and raised in District 2, but his family came from England. Dedication to his city prompted him to enlist in the police force as soon as he could, and he could be accepted into the homicide department of Nova Polmos. He closely followed the Pandora case, collaborating with the police and intelligence. Okay, he's a cop. And here I was, hoping not to see your ugly mug, at least during celebrations. I'm starting to believe that you're trying to get hired here instead of working with those monkeys at the police office. I doubt you'll be able to keep the label of Hero of Nova Polmos for long, if you behave like that. Like I give a damn. I can't tell whether it's false modesty or a lack of judgment. It's always the worst option when it comes to Mordred. If you're done making fun of me, I'd like to know what the hell you're doing in our office. I would too. Why you're not celebrating in some pub with a few girls? I mean, it's also thanks to you that we've solved the case. And you're much better than me at being a hero anyway. Don't worry, I'm going to celebrate soon. But first I had to grant Hera's wish. What do you mean? Your lovely colleague asked me to take a picture to commemorate such an important day. Huh? A picture? Aren't those on the papers enough? You mean those where you look like a dead man walking? Or maybe those where you try to crush that reporter's camera? That one's my favorite. You idiot. You're the one that went for the deluxe handsome rogue package. You're not allowed to complain. I'm pretty sure they delivered only half the package. Damn, Hera was snappy back in the day. What do you mean?
Back.
She's just... What do you mean by that? I guess we're ready, huh? Come on, lovebird, strike a pose. Come here in the middle and smile. Just let it out. Show some pride and try to look serious. Next time I see this photo in like 5 or 6 years, the only thing I want to remember is... Okay, neat. Damn, you've aged... Yeah, I'd say. You have aged badly.
You were bared.
Chapter 3, the only thing worth fighting for. Mordred, are you alright? Yeah, I was just thinking about the day we took that picture. Oh, you mean the one Leon took? Uh-huh. It's been a while, huh? This photo was taken in Foley Investigations the day after what seemed to be the resolution of the famous Pandora case. The same day, Jennifer Kingston and Robert Harrington were executed in an electric chair. Nostalgia and regret strangle men with a golden thread. Yeah, still no new. I guess, okay. I wonder how long we'll be forced to live off the memories to find a little happiness. The only good thing is that Eugene is rotting in jail. Speaking of that, have you heard from Dean again? No, both he and Thalia. Okay, this is the dude that the robot fucking killed. And Thalia is the robot.
Yep.
They probably managed to leave Nova Polmos, taking advantage of all this mess. I hope at least they find some happiness. I'm not sure it was a good idea to let the android loose, but there's nothing we can do about it. Are you afraid she might get caught by some foreign country? That girl's a living computer with every kind of confidential information about our city. I'm afraid she might get caught. I'm not afraid she might get caught. What I truly fear is what they could do to her, with whatever's inside of her. A leakage of such information could lead to an unprecedented international incident. I hope Dean is clever enough to hide her in some isolated place. Dean's dead, dude. At this point, the facts related to the professor are the least of our problems. Are you talking about the internment of unemployed people and the refugees in the city's outer areas with the excuse of the bomb? Yeah, they are passing them off as simple interrogations for now, but I'm afraid things might get worse real quick. You think it's just a matter of time before we go back to the disasters of the past? This won't happen, not as long as there is breath in my lungs. In case things go south, we'll leave this dump, I promise. How? The borders are still highly controlled, and we're not exactly strangers to public security. The police are protecting us, but they'll never help us escape. It would be too risky for them. Sometimes I think the city's walls are not built to protect us from the outside, but to hide the monster within. There's no point in worrying about it before the major acts of violence occur. They're just flexing muscles right now. Besides, internments only concern the unemployed and illegal immigrants, a small minority of the population. Now, that's one way to justify it. And then when we're done with them, who do you think they'll come for? Huh? A message from Leon? Are you kidding? After all this time, what's it say? He wants to meet in District 6 tonight alone. District 6? Why so far away? Because that's where the island is. The island? Why do you want to go back to that cursed place? The island.
The island.
This huge building is located in Nova Palmos' District 6 and was initially intended as a way to rezone the area, but due to the increasing number of elders who were failing the Patterson test, the area was turned into an accommodation center, counting more than 2,000 residents. Access is not allowed to the public. The guests must provide public utility service in exchange for accommodation and are constantly monitored by the staff. After a crime occurred a few years ago, most of the facilities have been equipped with modern security systems. Alright, it's a jail for old people. He wouldn't do that if it wasn't something important, especially since we haven't been in touch for more than 5 years. You think he still hates us? Quite possibly, but it's worth trying to talk to him. Also, he says something has to do with Pandora. Pandora? Maybe we should inform Freya, just to be safe? I'd prefer not to involve her if we can. The glove thing is not entirely resolved. Yeah, we took a fucking glove and never gave it back.
Someday.
We still need it, Keith. I'm gonna contact her later on just to know if she has any news about Hephaestus and those emails. Okay. Do you think she's made any progress? I hope so. Anyway, we should start getting ready or we won't get there in time. Alright, let's go. New destination. Alright, so seriously, we don't have any, like... Nope, this is just the current thing. Okay. The past doesn't matter.
Yeah, we haven't been given the plot yet.
At least it's self-contained. We don't really have to know what happened last chapter.
I think we're glossing over the fact that someone invented an android.
Yeah, I think that was really skipped over. We're here finally. I hope what they have to say is worth a 2-hour drive. The place has changed so much in the last years. Oh, he grew a beard too. After what happened a few years ago, renovating the area was the least they could do. I didn't expect to see you until your funeral. Long time no see, old friend. Leon, it's you.
He also grew a beard.
Yeah. No, his hair's nice too. He's got a streak of silver in it though, so he's old as fuck. Cool though. Hey, look at you. You're in terrible shape, dude. You were looking like a ghost. It's all your fault I'm in this state, you sick bastard. Please, it's our fault. Let me remind you that you accepted when I proposed to. Stop it already. We've suffered enough because of that, so please. The Bassett case. Leon Bassett is a member of Nova Palmos PD, whose integrity has been widely questioned in the past. Bassett has been charged, along with Foley investigations, with falsifying evidence connected to the Pandora case, which ruined his career. Thanks to the reputation he managed to build in the past, he kept his job, although as a simple officer. Typical. Alright, let's get to the point then. Why did you bring us here? Because I wanted to talk to you away from prying ears, and because I wanted your help with something that's going on here on the island. You said it was about Pandora, though. Indeed, the two go together. Great, you have my attention then. Start explaining. Oh, speak. Let's investigate. Some sick Third Reich imagery here. A column dedicated to the founding fathers of Nova Plomos. The intimidating statue seems to be a reminder of the park visitors are under constant surveillance. A small case storing some dossiers about the history of Nova Plomos. A memorial dedicated to the refugees who got killed by border patrols during the years of the Great Immigration. Literally the sky. There's a box with the sky in it. There's only a few birds left in Nova Plomos, mainly due to the high pollution and lack of places where building a nest. Doing the classic scan, adventure game scan. Alright. The island. As Harris said, this district has changed a lot. There were abandoned factories and public housing only up until 7 years ago. Now the area has been completely renovated, and they built a gigantic square around the open-air concentration camp they call the island. Can you believe it? This is the only location on the outskirts of the Nova Plomos that doesn't smell like piss, and they filled it with a bunch of old and useless people to slave away. Concentration camp? What do you mean? Don't you know, people here were forced to leave their houses, and now they're living in the huts until they kick their bucket. In the meantime, they have no choice but to work without getting paid in exchange for room and board provided by the government. Wait, I might be wrong, but from what I know, the island is merely a shelter for homeless and jobless people. Old people. That was before the accident, then something changed and the owners suddenly realized the place wasn't too profitable enough. Now all the properties owned by those old people who failed the Patterson test are taken over by the government. Amazing, isn't it? And people let all this happen right under their noses? Yeah, what do you think's gonna happen, Mordred? They're old. You should know by now that our citizens are only looking out for those four walls they call home. They wouldn't lift a finger unless it involved them personally, and we're talking about old, senile people, so... Why would they even bother to renovate this place, then? Because appearance is all that matters, Foley. Despite it being a burden now, they have contributed to building this country. The island is an ideal place to let them slowly rot because it's away and no one can get them in without permission. Also, this way the facility would look good on the TV news reports, reassuring citizens. And here you go, the masterpiece is ready. This is a slaughterhouse made of gold, or rather, an appetizing sweet that tastes like shit. And they even dare to print flyers.
How dare they?
Yeah, those sons of bitches are advertising concentration camps. When does it stop, Keith? An advertising flyer about the services of the island, emphasizing how the elder would be able to live in harmony while staying socially active. The voice of evidence is deaf to the ears of propaganda. Okay. Old grudges. I would like to make this quite clear. I'm still holding a grudge against you, and I'm not going to forgive you anytime soon.
Been 6 years, bud.
Like I give a flying fuck. I'm here for information, you promised, that's all. Are we really gonna fight again? Damn it, you're so childish. 2 innocent people died, and my work and personal life has been hell in the last 6 years. And all because I listened to you. If I hadn't submitted that evidence, this would have never happened. Okay. You knew there was no other way to frame them, and then, even then you thought they were guilty. Only because you messed with my head. Oh, this guy's just so innocent. Aren't we supposed to talk about the more important things? Are you guys going to punch each other in the middle of the street? Believe me, I'd love to. Unfortunately, I'm still a police officer. Oh, please accept my apologies then, Mr. Policeman. Now let's move on. Pandora. You said you have news about Pandora. Spit it out. "3 days ago, when I got home from work, I found this piece of paper under my door. Do these numbers mean anything to you?" Huh? What kind of note is this? Wait a minute. September 26th at 9:30 p.m.? If I remember correctly, this is the day that when Pandora killed that guy on the island. Exactly. Today is the 6th anniversary of his death. Or rather, it will be in just over 1 hour. Ripped paper. A piece of paper where you can read September 26, 9:30 p.m. The Island, written with pieces of newspaper and total lack of imagination. The final bell rings for everyone, yet for some of them it does it twice. Alright, so he's gonna strike again on the anniversary. Are you beginning to see why I called you here? This is some twisted joke, right? I doubt this is just some stupid prank by some idiot. There's no public precise information on that murder, let alone the exact time. So, who wrote it? Don't tell me. Yes, Pandora himself. Hold on, since when does Pandora announce his next moves? Is this some kind of perverted masochism? Well, nothing is going to happen. What I learned from this note, though, is something else. Pandora's following us, and he seems to be taking on an interest in us, now more than ever. So I wanted to ask you, would you be willing to come with me on the island and wait for the time indicated on the note? As I said, maybe nothing will happen, but in the meantime, you could tell me about Varangian and the Hephaestus case. Are you asking us to share information we collected on Pandora? Well, yes, exactly. I know there's bad blood between us, but at this point, we're forced to work together. As they say, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So what's your answer? What do you think, Mordred? I guess Leon is right. As much as I hate to admit it, we need him, but it's risky to share too much, given how much he still despises us. Well, we're not going to tell him about the glove, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, we're still being haunted by that glove.
Tell him the truth, give him wrong information. What? Why would we do this?
You know, 6 years of grudges.
I want to tell him the truth. I don't know why the fuck we would do this. This doesn't make any sense. I'm just gonna tell him the truth. Like, I don't see a reason why not. Who cares if we get in trouble? Maybe you're right. It's useless to fight each other now. I'll tell you what we found. Don't tell him about the glove, though. That's ours. I'm glad we come to an agreement. Where shall we begin?
He told him about the glove.
Oh god. I never pictured that it would be this bad. Now I see now why nobody wanted to talk to the detective, Gold Soul. Who's Gold Soul again? Nor about what happened at Festus. Now I see why no one wanted to talk about it. I don't remember who that is. Those bloody bastards did everything they could to keep me out. What the hell? What the hell?
Yeah, what the hell, man?
It came from the island. That's some loud ass screaming. Who are you? This is the police. Let us through and don't let anybody out. Ah. Damn it, we're too late. Yeah, why couldn't you guys have had this conversation where it's supposed to be meeting? We must inform my colleagues and close up the entrance. I won't let that bastard go this time. Stay here, Mordred, and see what you can find out. I'll make sure to close the gates. The scene is the same from 6 years ago. Go, Hera. I'll handle this. I'll fetch the police.
Convenient camera.
Yeah, they're literally pointing right at it. This is perfect. How far can your sadism go? Whoa. Pandora? Yes, but this time you won't get away. This hellhole has only one entrance and all the exits are recorded. The murder happened at 8:30 p.m. and no one left the building. He fell into his own trap. How could he be a meticulous killer like him to make such a huge mistake? Whatever the reason, we better start investigating. You might want to know more about the dynamics of the case first, don't you think? Would you be so kind to share this information with us? How could I say no to a smile like that? What would I do without you? Before I forget, we wanted to thank you for letting us through without filling in all those useless files. Just doing my duty, and we promised to take him down together, didn't we? While in the past, you won't be able to use evidence from the future, and you will find clues that might be helpful for their current case. All information will be collected in documents. You can read them at any moment, both in the present and the past. Okay. We're getting some flashbacks here. Situation on the island. Can I just say, Leon was ripped back in the day, dude. Look at his fucking six-pack. He's ripped. And the situation here really under control. Are you sure no one left after the murder? As I said, each entry and exit is recorded when the alarm went off. The doors were immediately shut. This place is like a fortified maze. The walls are so high that it's just impossible to escape. We are completely sure that every guest and worker who was here last night is still locked up inside. I can only imagine the pressure those poor old people are subjected to. I hope we get things sorted out quickly. They are here because they don't have a place to live after all. We got our own problem to deal with right now. There's no point in worrying about something that's not our concern. Classic Mordred. Victim's identity. What do you know about the victim? His name is Terry Oath, son of Maximilian, the founder and director of the island. Terry Oath, age 29, Mars Tua Vita May. What does that mean, Keith?
No.
Just like his father, Terry was impulsive and extremely condescending. He always claimed to be a Black Band's militant, which made his attitude towards subordinates even more rigid. Terry was Maximilian Oath's firstborn. After studying private law, he was appointed as coordinator of the whole island, provoking allegations of nepotism against his father. Terry has managed the budget of the island for a very long time. What? Pandora killed such an influential figure? What's wrong with him? We know for sure that Terry was not very popular here, but no one thought that Pandora would take action himself. What do you mean? Did he have any enemies? I don't have enough information about this. Ask around when you get a chance. What's certain is that his father has gone insane after that. I wouldn't trade places with those wretches living here after we solve the case. You think there's a chance that we might talk to him? He could tell us more about what happened. Probably, but let me tell you, it won't be much of a pleasant chat. As always. Dynamics of the murder. Let's get to the point. What did you find out about the dynamics of the murder? The victim jumped through a window from the 5th floor of the main building, falling into the pond in the middle of the square. That's why his body's submerged like that. But we've already established that this is not the cause of death. What then? Before being thrown out the window, his throat was slit while his eyes and mouth were filled with hot wax. Okay. That's not all. The victim had angel wings on his back, one of the props from the island's theater. Angel wings? Props? What are they doing here? From what I've heard, sometimes they organize plays as recreational activities for the guests, and the rehearsal room is right over there on the 5th floor. So he's thrown from there? Exactly. Wings, wax, and a fall from a great height, there's no doubt. Pandora created his sick version of the myth of Icarus. The myth of Icarus. Icarus was the son of the master inventor Daedalus. After building a majestic labyrinth in which he locked up a brutal minotaur, Daedalus was condemned by Minos, king of Crete, and imprisoned along with his son inside his own creation, so that no one could ever discover the secret of the mythological beast. In an attempt to escape, Daedalus collected some feathers and glued them with wax to his son's body so that he could fly. It was working fine, but swept up by excitement, Icarus flew too close to the sun, the wax suddenly melted, and he fell to his death. Okay.
Moral of the story, don't use wax.
Yeah, it's terrible. Gotta use something heat resistant. What did he manage to kill him without anyone noticing? How did he manage? Okay. I have no idea. Maybe we can find more by investigating the crime scene or rehearsal room. No shit, Hera. Can you get us in, Leon? I need some time, I'll do my best. Well, at least for now, we have a lead to follow up. Very well, we can start by taking a look around. Alright, I'll be in the case. I'll be here in the case if you need anything. Try not to be reckless, okay? Sure, thank you. Come on, Mordred. We done speaking to him? Yeah. Okay. What is this?
A leaf.
Due to the fall, lots of feathers are scattered around the crime scene. Okay. Just like Leon said, the victim's face was disfigured with wax poured into both his eyes and his mouth. The throat was cut clean in a cruel typical of him. The victim's hands and arms have no wound or bruises, so either he didn't notice the assassin or he didn't try to defend himself. Here are the wings that Leon was talking about, although they are in pretty bad shape after the fall. Does this look like a good time to make such comments? This is supposed to be Maximilian Oath, the founder and director of this deadly maze. The statue represents him giving a needy old man a sort of sun, which is the symbol of the island. Pandora did find a way to represent even the sun. This is so grotesque, even more than the statue itself. A small pond to make this place look like less of a gloomy labyrinth, I suppose. A display case with some information about the structure, its foundation, and development over time. At the bottom you can see the names of some important guests. They had their motto, "Here the sun never goes down." Oh, that's a pun, right? The sun never goes down. His sun went down, fell, huh? Pandora has a sense of humor. Due to the fall, lots of feathers are scattered around the crime scene. Anything else? Oh, his shoulder. The victim's right shoulder is full of cuts and shards of glass all over the skin. What is this supposed to mean? It means he fell through a window? Great, now it's time to interrogate some witnesses. Any suspects yet? Oh, you bet. Alright, so we're just going to be switching back and forth as the case develops. Alright. Thinking back to those moments makes me sick. I don't have time to waste. I must investigate before the police arrive. Personal documents N1. The island's crime scene, year 2060. The victim's body was thrown from the 5th floor of the main building and fell into the artificial pond below. There were wounds and glass shards in the victim's shoulder. He is wearing angel wings, typically used as a theater costume, and feathers spread around the scene. The victim's throat was cut. Both of his eyes and mouth were filled with hot wax. The murder happened at 9:30. Just like 6 years ago, the victim had wax all over his eyes. However, his throat looks untouched, and the wax is in his mouth. It's most likely dripped from his eyes, so he just put it in his eyes. Maybe Pandora didn't have time to slit his throat and was forced to change plans. The victim's face. Hot wax was poured in the victim's eyes and it burned his cheeks and mouth. Since death was caused by the fall, the victim was certainly still alive when the wax was being poured. Brutal.
Very brutal.
Look, what are those wounds on his arms? Those cuts are quite deep and there's a lot of shards of glass. Wounded arms. There are several cuts and glass shards in both the victim's arms, coming from the broken window, and no sign of stab wounds on the rest of the body. Alright. Maybe this will help us break down what really happened. Oh yeah, that's this display case, so that means the body over there was from 6 years ago. The display case is covered in blood. Maybe the victim hit his head against it as when he landed on the ground. Maybe. I've been looking at this flyer this whole time. Oh, it's a shoe. That's a shoe? It looked like a
shoe. How can you not tell?
It looks like a poster. A shoe? What is it doing in the bush? Probably the victim lost it from the fall and it landed it there. I better take it with me as evidence. Okay,
oh god,
Mordred.
it's the glove all over again.
Jesus Christ, dude. We're just... Oh god. The shoe has been found in a bush at the crime scene. It looks like a safety shoe. Size 43. The tiniest details hides the most sinister of intentions. We're gonna have a whole fucking outfit of stolen evidence. A security camera pointed at the crime scene. I'm not sure it'll help us, but it might be useful. Unlike 6 years ago, during the first investigation, today there are many more cameras on the island, showing a drastic increase in security measures. Thank goodness that wretch didn't fall on one of those things. Okay. This grotesque statue is still symbolizing the egotism of that. Wait a minute. There's a big dent on his head. I wonder why. Vandalized statue. The face of the statue, representing the fountain of the island, is covered in dents, probably inflicted by a blunt object. All kings are destined to suffer. Window. The island... Oh, it's not a window, it's a timetable. The island timetable, this might come in handy. The island schedule. 8 a.m. Wake-up call. 8:10. Medical examination. 8:30. Daily task assignment. 12 p.m. Lunch break. 3 p.m. Recreational activities. 7. Dinner. 8:30. Curfew. So he died after their curfew. Oh, what is this? Once again, feathers are all around the crime scene. They are arranged in a different way this time, though. His hands. Wait, what are these burns? Both his thumbs suffered severe burns. How could this happen? Whatever the reason, Pandora is definitely in a rush this time. Burned thumbs. Both the victim's thumbs are covered in wax and severely burned, just like his face. Nothing burns like pride. Feathers. Angel wings, identical to those used in the past, broken into pieces after the fall once again. These medium-sized wings are used in a stage costume and they were tied to the victim's back. After the crash, its feathers were spread around the crime scene, discreet wings broken by burning ambitions. Huh, I've seen enough. Our friends will be here any second. Mordred, the police are here. Good, let's move out. Please stay calm. We're carrying out some checks to ensure your safety. You can go back to your rooms very soon. However, keep in mind that leaving this building is forbidden. Relax, the sun will shine tomorrow. Don't go out, the rain will soak you wet. Reception, information payments. I see the police are starting to take care of the guests on the island. Oh, Mordred, finally I found you. I was worried they'd turn the screws on you for sticking your nose into the crime scene. We're good for now. Thank God. Tell me, what did you find here? Much more than I expected. What? So the murder is not identical to the one we investigated? Quite the contrary. I think the discrepancies will allow us to catch that piece of shit. Have you already spoken to Leon? No, he's probably too busy explaining why we're here in the island. You can't keep me here. You have no right. Do you have any idea who you're dealing with? Who's that lunatic? What's all that screaming? Huh? Is this Maxim? Oh, yeah, Maximilian. Maximilian Oath. 69. Nice. Hatred is just a degeneration of loneliness. After the loss of his son, Maximilian fell into a deep depression, worsened by his stressful job as a director. O's family owns a small business in Nova Pomos, specialized in renewable energy. After attending the law school, he started working for the government and eventually appointed as the director of the Project Island. Huh? Who are you? You don't look like the residents of this island. Are you the reporters who came sniffing around? Did you really forget about us? And to think we were like your best friends a few years ago. Did our faces age so much? He did, definitely. You look the same. Don't tell me. You are those detectives. Mulgred and Hera? Mulgred? Yeah, that's us. How did you get in? Security! Someone throw them out immediately. Shh, calm down already. We're here to solve this mess. And I believe that it's in your interest to get everything back to normal. Oh, he's lying. What are you even talking about? The situation is perfectly under control. Okay, we don't need a mask to tell us that he's lying about that. This is one of the most renowned places in the whole city. It takes much more to affect its integrity and reputation. So you can forget about wandering around here. You're not the police, and I don't trust you at all. I'm afraid we won't be able to get anything out of him. You should remember what kind of person he is. Maximilian is lying, and this time I don't need the mask to realize that. Yeah, yeah. But I won't convince him to help if I don't get personal. And in order to do that, I need to dive into the past, the day the man's life fell apart. From now on, by using the souvenir picture in your inventory, you will go back to the past and experience firsthand Hera and Mordred's memories. This way you'll find new information and learn more about the case from 6 years ago. Use the picture again to get back to the present. Remember, you won't be able to use the evidence collected in the future from the investigation in the past. Okay, there's a time traveling mechanic here.
Advanced.
Not sure how I feel about this yet. If it's done well, it's pretty cool. I do like that we can switch, and it's not just railroaded. So the main suspects are these two guys? Yes, Robert Harrington and Jennifer Kingston. Apparently they had a grudge against the victim due to something that happened a few years ago. It seems they're pretty famous actors here in Nova Pomos. Jennifer Kingston. Oh, she's only 28. For some reason when I pictured them as like middle-aged. Cheerful and spontaneous, Jennifer has always been able to adapt to every situation and was clearly loved by friends and colleagues. Her personality allowed her to easily find a job and then move up quickly. Jennifer was condemned to the electric chair for Terry Oath's murder and executed with her accomplice. She was a rising star in Nova Pomos acting scene, and she was particularly appreciated for her comic roles. Robert Harrington, 52. Okay, there's a bit of an age difference there. God's touch is never a caress. Robert is a self-centered and arrogant man trying to hide behind his false modesty. Before being condemned to the electric chair for Terry O's murder, he was one of the most renowned dramatic actors in the theater scene of Nova Pomos. Although he never achieved true fame, he had a small flock of admirers. Even now, some nostalgics use to bring flowers to his grave. What are two actors doing here? And what happened between him and them and the victim? I don't have the answers to your questions right now. We have to find out more on our own. The police know I'm working with you, so they have me on a short leash. Alright, we're going to speak with them. You'll find them in the waiting room. They shouldn't be too hard to spot. Maybe we should talk to the director, Maximilian, too, even though you advised us against it. Well, if you really want, go to the crime scene then. He's there since yesterday. He's still in shock and refuses any help, so try to be careful if you don't want to be kicked out. Alright, let's go. We done speaking? Yep. Don't forget your medicines. A billboard reminding their beloved guests to take their medicines. It's almost like some people would rather die than wake up in this place. I'd be curious to see the recreation area the sign is talking about. I hope that place is less depressing than its reception. Yeah, this is very authoritarian, concrete, imposing architecture here.
Gray and dull. Perfect.
The guests collect their daily medicines from his desk. The reinforced glass suggests that maybe they had some problems in the past. The building is crumbling and there are puddles all around the place. Oh yeah, it was renovated after this. How retarded can you be to build so many stairways in a place mostly populated by old people? Good point. Sealed doors, probably leading to the staff quarters and the kitchens. A few signs to help people around the island. Given the complexity of the structure, I would have expected more of them. Looks like everything.